Hi everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids, and today's video is different, right? This is not a guide for Raid Shadow Legends or anything like that. Today is actually going to be probably a fairly heartfelt episode, a real talk episode, diving into just, more of the idea of being a content creator. And in particular today, we're talking about Stew. And we're going to be watching Stew's video together. As you guys know, Stew has been a content creator for Raids. I think from near the beginning. He's been around for forever, as long as I've even started playing the game. Stew has been there and was someone that I was watching for guides when I started playing for sure. As you can see, he's now changed the name of his channel to StewGaming Diablo Immortal, and he's put out this video today saying goodbye Raid, hello world, where he's talking about his decision to quit Raid and to move on, and it's not like your cheeky Darth microtransaction video, right, where it's I quit and then it's not him actually quitting. He loves saying that he patented that clickbait. This is actually legit. Like Stew he's moving on to different stuff, so let's watch it together. And I want to talk about, obviously you should watch the original video for just the raw take, the straight take from Stew. And I'm just going to be adding my thoughts to it, so you can watch my video if you want or not. It's really up to you. But anyway, I'll link Stew's in the description down below, because I'm going to be babbling on and talking about my personal experiences and, obviously sending well wishes to Stew as well. Let's dive in. Let's fail to click this properly. Let's do this. Let's make sure that the volume is okay. I forgot to test this before.
Am I leaving Raid Shadow Legends after 3.5 years?
3.5 years.
I'm going to give you my explanation. I really think you're going to respect it and you're going to understand where I'm coming from. We're also going to talk about what's next for the StewGaming channel, this YouTube channel that you're on right now, because there are so many mobile games with PC clients coming out this year. And I'm going to play all of them. They're amazing games. Like, this year is stocked full of big title fun games that we're all gonna play, we're all gonna stream. And
I'm just gonna jump in real quick right here. It's awesome to see, like, fair play to Stew that he still has, that he has that positivity, that drive, right, to keep making content, and that he's adapting. I've found stuff like this in the past. It can be really, really difficult to make that change. You can imagine any job change, any career change is a difficult thing to do. It's no different really with switching up a YouTube channel or anything like that. It's something that I did. I have my original YouTube channel, Nubkeks, that I've just put on pause for now, basically. I used to cover Heroes of the Storm, which was a MOBA for Blizzard. I think I did that for probably around 3 years as well. And at least my personal experience was that I probably really loved it for the first year. And then for the second year, it was like, I enjoyed some of it, but I kind of started to hate it. And then by the third year, I really hated it, actually. I really was super burnt out. And it's just that sort of thing of being like, why am I still doing this? I'm doing it because there's still an audience and I feel somewhat responsible to provide videos for them. But I'm also really hating it. There's a lot of the stuff that didn't work out the way I thought it would. Like, for example, with streaming MOBAs, it's a big part of it is streaming for hours a day. And I've tried that and I absolutely hate it. I hate streaming for hours a day. I can't stand it. It absolutely it makes me miserable. Like, it genuinely makes me absolutely miserable. I walk away with headaches, stressed out. It's awful. It's not for me. That was one thing that was affecting me doing that as well. And for Stew to do this for 3.5 years is actually really impressive. It's one of the tough things about being a content creator, being a YouTuber covering video games, is, to cover the same thing for multiple years is tough. Like, will I be covering Raid in 3 years time? Like, I have no idea. I have no clue. I guess probably not, but who the heck knows, right? But yeah, more games coming out this year.
And then I'm moving into a house on the 23rd. Our brand new home, which was just built. We're going to get the keys to it on May the 23rd.
Looks really nice.
So from the 23rd, I'm going to be a very, very busy person. I have to...
Congratulations to Stew. No, that is absolutely awesome. Myself and my girlfriend, we're getting a house as well. We were supposed to be potentially in like June, July. Now it's looking more like July, August. There's delays and everything like that, but it's super exciting and intimidating and all the rest. But I'm really happy for Stew and his...
To make sure that everything gets delivered to our house, gets set up. My small little office gets set up for Diablo Immortal release on June 2nd. So I've got to be ready to stream and pump out the videos like crazy on June 2nd, which gives me very little time to mess around this month, especially at the end of the month.
Yeah, that's tough. I think here he's making the right decision as well, you know. It's really hard to do two. Like Ash does it. Ash has, I think he does Clash Royale, Clash with Ash, and he does the Ash Raid YouTube channel. I don't know how he does it. Like, it's so much work to run one channel. To run two at the same time is just crazy. Even just in terms of the creative output required, like the creative energy to be thinking, to be planning for these, that's really intense. It really is. So I think that Stu's making the right decision, you know, going, if he's burnt out of Raid, to go, okay, you know what? Screw that. Why put myself through this misery for longer? Like, eventually you have to reach that point where you have to say, you have to stop eventually. You have to quit eventually and move on. You say, you know what? Bam, I'm putting my foot down. I'm stopping now so I can actually start this new thing properly. I think it's the right idea, and he's got a month to set it up.
I'm an in-game player. I've been covering Raid Shadow Legends for 3.5 years. I find it very lucky and fortunate that I was able to start my YouTube career with this great game. Raid Shadow Legends is an amazing game, but it is at the point now for where I'm at in-game and played it for so long, I can see exactly what it is. And for me, it's just not for me anymore.
So that's cool. Well, I assume he's going to dive into what's happening next. But I think it's fair. Like, I do think it is a bit of a testament to Raid. Like, I will say one of the strengths of Raid for me, having done this stuff I've done Heroes of the Storm and World of Warcraft before. And one of the really nice things about Raid is that although we probably wish that they might release content faster, compared to a lot of other games, they actually have a very steady content release. They're regularly releasing new updates. And even with COVID and stuff, that mostly is kept going. Even the war in Ukraine, you know, they're still trying to keep going despite that really awful real world circumstances affecting them directly. But Raid is pretty good for constantly having stuff going on. Obviously, like, a lot of people don't like Hydra and things like that, but, you know, they've added like Doom Tower, Hydra. There's always fusions. There's constantly new stuff coming in. So that is a positive as a content creator compared to, let's say, like World of Warcraft. Because I was covering that at the start of Shadowlands, and that was really difficult because, like, there was huge interest and obviously tons of new stuff when Shadowlands was in beta and when it was coming out. So that was great. And then it's really depressing as a content creator to just see, you know, views and stuff going down, and you don't have anything to do. It's like you start to have everything covered very quickly, and you're waiting for new content, you're waiting for new stuff to sink your teeth into, and it's delayed. It's months coming, and there's just nothing there. That can be really hard. At least in Raid, there's typically like new champions. There's balance changes, at least small ones at least every month. Like, at least there's something. There's some stuff always happening. So for a game to cover full time, for a game that you could potentially cover for 3.5 years, like Stu did, it's actually, there's not a ton of games that you can actually do that with. I mean, just outside of just your own personal experience and getting burnt out doing the same thing for 3.5 years in a gaming space. There's not that many games that you can do that with. It's much more limited.
Raid Shadow Legends from this point forward will never ever be anything other than CVC, summon events, and fusion. That's it. I don't know what else they could do. I don't think they have any plans to do anything else in the future. But as far as me playing the game, I really doubt they'll ever come out with anything that will make me want to pick the game back up and try it again, because I have no interest in CVC. I'm so tired of doing fusions, and I really don't care about their summoning events. So for me,
yeah, I mean, that's an interesting one. So you didn't mention Hydra there. I actually don't know what Stu thinks of Hydra. Let's assume that if he's quitting the game, he probably don't like it, right? And most people don't seem to like it. But I think that's definitely tough. You know, I think it's tough. If none of the new stuff they've added, since I remember watching some of Stu's Doom Tower guides, like back when I started, like when I was new playing the game, right? But I mean, they haven't added new Doom Tower stuff in a long time. So if you don't like CVC and you don't like Hydra, you don't like the stuff they've added, you know, you've kind of gone through the content. Like, Doom Tower is probably well beaten at this point for someone like Stu. Like, even for me, starting way behind, I've pretty much beaten most of all of the Doom Tower. Like, I've beaten obviously all the floors, all the bosses on hard and everything. I haven't beaten all of the secret rooms yet, but I mean, I'm getting there. Like, that stuff is done. You've beaten it. It's done. It's finished. And you're just sort of farming it, but you've beaten it. If you don't like the new stuff they've added, it can get really boring really fast to feel like you've done everything there is to do. You know, and if there's nothing that you're excited to beat, like if you're not into Hydra and the challenge, then a lot of the fusion events and summoning events become kind of boring. Like, yeah, I guess a great example, one of my favorite champions at the moment, I love Archbishop Pinthroy. I love him. He's absolutely fantastic. I got him during the last guaranteed legendary from Ancients event, and I absolutely love him. I have so much fun playing with him. But that's because of what he lets me do in Hydra. Like, if Hydra wasn't there really wouldn't have been all that much point to getting him. Like, he does a little bit in Arena, but and a little bit in Doom Tower. I use him for a couple of bits there for kind of fun, but that's kind of it. It's really, you know, him and so much to the channel. Like, for me personally, especially with my channel here, so much of what I've done in the game for the last 6 months has really been almost entirely like Hydra focused, like progressing in the game, building up Hydra stuff, and bringing you guys Hydra content, trying to come up with new ideas and guides. And like, yeah, like if Hydra didn't exist, or if I didn't like it, where would we be? Where would I be? I don't know, right? I don't know. Probably not here, that's for sure. So that's always something to bear in mind. I do think it's funny, like sometimes people though, like they come out and like they hate Hydra, they hate CVC, they hate 3v3 Arena, they hate Fusion. There's too many fusions. You know, sometimes people, when they complain about this sort of stuff and they're like, remove it all from the game, like that point of view is just sort of crazy. It's like, what would you actually be doing in the game then? Just like pulling shards and farming dungeons? But it becomes really pointless very quickly, because what are you pulling shards for? What are these champions for if there's no challenge for you to overcome with them? It becomes kind of, it's an empty thing, a bit of a late game problem. But without the late game content, it comes much faster.
I'm done with it. That's why, and it's about...
That being said, I mean, that's more of a general point, by the way, in terms of Stew saying, look, I'm not interested in this stuff, and I personally feel like I'm done with the game. 100% there with them. Like, I've been there with Heroes of the Storm before. I've been there with World of Warcraft and like raid leading World of Warcraft stuff. Like, you can absolutely love something for a long time, and then eventually you get sick of it and you feel like you've done it, and you have done it all, and just doing all the same thing again, you just kind of...
About happiness, right? Done. You can't fake something like this. I don't think it... Well, for me anyways, 100%. I can't come on here and fake it like I know the game, like I play the game, and just say, hey, play these top 6 champions. These are the best 6 stars, top 2, top 3. I can't do that. You guys know I'm brutally honest, and that's just not me. So I am transitioning this main channel into Diablo Immortal. June 2nd, it's going to come out. I'm going to be doing videos leading up to June 2nd. I am just so excited to play it. There is so much depth to this game that I think really will...
I'm excited for that as well. Like, I'm probably going to be playing a bunch of Diablo Immortal, not here on this channel on Nub Raids. I'm probably going to be playing it over on my original channel on Nubkeks. I think that's sort of my plan at the moment. There's also going to be info on, I think, 1 or 2 Warcraft mobile games, which should be coming out, I think, this month as well. So I'm going to be seeing what those are and when they're coming out. But that's sort of my plan at the moment, is running Nub Raids here, and then... running more casually my original channel, the bigger channel, funny enough. We'll be looking at Diablo Immortal first. Now, I don't know if I'm going to like it, but I'm going to be diving in and giving it a go, 100%. And yeah, then checking out the Warcraft mobile games as well, if they look good to me. And if they are, yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'll run both at the same time. Maybe I'll flip between one game. I'm not sure what I'll do, but I very much, I'm there with Stu in the sense of, and you have to be smart about this stuff, of keeping my eye on that stuff on the horizon. But at the same time, like, I would never try to go in and completely half-ass something, or start a new channel for something that I wasn't convinced I was really going to be into, because it's like Stu said, it's hard to fake it and it can be really soul destroying to feel compelled to have to do it. And I've been there and tried that sort of stuff before, and it's not good.
Just like overshadow Diablo 4 and anything they plan on doing with Diablo 4 in the future. Unfortunately, I know there's a lot of you out there that don't want to hear that, but you know, when you have a mobile game that's going to be successful, and that makes money, right? Profit is important. You want to make a lot of money. There's so many things you can do just because it has that mobile aspect alone. And people already have the mentality of what mobile games kind of have as far as, you know, the profit margins and how well they do. Not that this is some kind of cash grab. We'll get into it in future videos. Believe me, I'm going to be putting out a lot of videos this month about Diablo Immortal before it even comes out. But we've got Tower of Fantasy coming out, which is just like Genshin Impact. That's going to be coming later this year with a mobile app as well as a PC client.
I thought Genshin looked kind of, well, I like the idea of Genshin being like a gacha that's more of an adventure game. That's cool. But I didn't like the art style.
It's going to be just like Genshin, but it's got anime PvP in there. It's got guilds. It's open.
Genshin was just too
MMO,
anime.
where you see other people run around with you. So it's
like
a bit
Fire
different
Emblem and
for me,
Final Fantasy.
It's a step forward from what Genshin Impact does right now. We've got Deadly Seven Sins coming out with another game that is just like Genshin as well. There are a lot of games, and these are all kind of action.
Actually, if you guys could let me know in the comments, Tower of something. I've never heard of it. Have you guys seen it, and what do you think? I could check that out too.
RPGs to where you really get in them and can play the game. And that way I can stream it, have a good time playing that. I just want to switch things up. So any kind of turn-based gacha game, which I still love. We've got Honkai Star Rail coming out later this year, which is going to be huge. We've got Dislight starting on May 10th. There are other app games that I do want to play, and I'm going to play them on my second channel. Where you see over there right now, we've got Awakening Chaos Era on my second channel, which is doing really well. I'm going to mix in some other turn-based gacha games that are very similar to that on that channel. So if you're I
actually played quite a bit of Awakening Chaos Era. I played a good chunk and it's fun. It was good. But again, for me, I didn't want to do two games. Like, it's so similar to Raid. That was very off-putting for me. Like, I didn't even really enjoy doing my free-to-play like beginner account in Raid. That was, even just having two Raid accounts was kind of off-putting. I just didn't enjoy that. I prefer more variety if I'm going to do two things. So
interested, go subscribe over there. If you're interested in Diablo Immortal at all, go ahead and stay with me or subscribe right now if you haven't subscribed before, because I'm going to hit it hard. I'm very interested in all the videos I've been watching. Look, the last 4 days, I've been watching so many videos because I wasn't able to partake in the beta, and I've been reading so many articles on websites about what there is to do in the game, and those are the videos I'm going to bring to you before the game comes out. I'm just really excited. I'm really excited to get my hands on it and play it. And again, all the other ones that are coming out this year. This really, I feel like, is going to be the year of new mobile games, all with amazing PC clients. So for me, I know for you, maybe if you just want to do mobile, that doesn't interest you. But it is really nice to have the beauty of a PC game with a PC client, how smooth it is. You should know you play Raid Shadow Legends.
Yeah, I agree. Like, for me, that's like a defining thing. Like, that was the thing that made me sit up and go, oh, Diablo Immortal. Okay, maybe I will play this. Is that not only is it going to be playable on mobile, but it's also from day one, from launch, going to be fully available on PC as well. There's a proper PC client. Like, that for me is one of the big things. Not only just from a practical perspective of ease of recording and producing videos on it. I'm just like, I like gaming on PC. It's good. It's fun. And I think the games that have the PC clients, they tend to be a bit higher quality as well. I think it's a mark of quality, investment into the game. So I think that's really good. I actually really enjoy, one of the things I love about Raid is that I can be in my office and I'll be working like, this, like recording videos or editing. There's a lot of planning and stuff that goes into it as well. But like, I sort of spend my day 50-50, actually out at my PC working directly on stuff for it. But then I can like pop back in like into the house. I can like hang out sitting at the couch with the dog, whatever. I can just chill out and I can watch some YouTube or some Netflix. Like, I'm watching Star Trek Voyager for fun, and I can be playing Raid on my mobile, just sort of grinding stuff out really casually on the mobile when it just needs to be mindlessly grinded. And I can even be typing stuff up. I like my spreadsheets. I'll be typing up my lists of ideas, working on like some Matsy stuff, all that sort of stuff. I'll be working on things as well. It's that freedom of going back and forth. It's something that personally is great. I really like it. And you don't have that with a mobile game. And you don't have that with just a PC game. Having it available on both is exciting. Imagine there was like a console that could like switch between the two. That would be cool. I need to get one of those.
It's nice. It works in every app game that ever comes out. Should in the future come with a PC client. We're talking years down the line, but companies are realizing. They're realizing that this is what they need to do so they can give us the
100%.
full gaming experience. It's no longer just,
100%.
hey, it's on my phone, hey, it's on PC. It's on both now,
Hell
and they want to
yeah.
make it smooth to where the transition where you're playing the game on your PC and then you get up to go do something, you go out and you start playing it on your phone, that it
Hell
feels
yeah.
exactly the same, that it feels just seamless and smooth and just a fun game to play to get things done when you're out, and then come home and see it on a much bigger screen and have the
Preach, Stu.
feel of your keyboard and mouse, or you can use your controller to play the game, to play Diablo and
I
a
use
lot
the
of the
flight
other
stick
ones
to
out
play
there, just
Raid,
like
actually.
Torchlight
That's
Infinite
good
that's
too.
coming out. All those other games too, like, well, not all those other games, but Torchlight Infinite as well is like Diablo Immortal, and I've seen it because it's in beta right now, and all the cosmetics. That's the only thing you can get additional in that game is cosmetics, and it's going to have a PC client along with a mobile app.
That's something that I do like. I do like games. That was a nice thing about Heroes of the Storm that you don't have in Raid, which is that the paid aspect of it, the monetization, was pretty much mostly cosmetic. Obviously, you could buy champions as well, but that's not like a specific power thing. It's just more variety. So it is a little bit pay to win, but not extremely. Nothing compared to Raid. Raid is like the definite definition of pay to win, right? And that's definitely a downside for me. That's something that I'd hope to see cosmetic stuff built up more in Raid. I'm excited for that as a different way to monetize that actually goes alongside the pay to win. But yeah, it can maybe be built up more. So the pay to win stuff, it's not
I can't
so
wait to
good.
dive into that as well. So there's a lot of things that I'm very excited to dive into. I'm just going to be extremely busy at the end of May,
Yeah,
moving
yes.
into our new house,
Oh man.
getting ready for Diablo Immortal launch on June 2nd. I just think that I'm just going to be just swamped with so much to do and getting videos out
Looks
to you
nice, man.
now in preparation for that release. Very busy times, but that is why I will no longer be playing Raid Shadow Legends. It just doesn't interest me anymore. None of it does. There's not one aspect of Raid that I feel like doing anymore.
That's 100%, and again, that's 100% fair. You know, at the end of the day, if Stu sits down and says, "I'm just not interested. I just don't want to do this. I want to go do other things, and this is how I want to direct my life," and especially when he's got a goddamn great plan like this one. You know, even if he just says, "I'm not interested. I don't want to do it anymore." You know, you have to 100% respect that and say, "You know what? It's your decision." And that, you know, fair play to you. for
There's
coming
no
to
new
that
heroes
decision
that I feel like going
and
over.
going
There's
with
no
it.
content. I don't want to go back through the Doom Tower. I've done it over and over. And they've
Yeah, that's what I'm
really
saying about
stripped, if you
content
made
and
it this
beaten.
far, I'll go ahead and tell you, they've really stripped the fun out of the game by making stage 21 to 25 of dungeons to where you just can't blow up the bosses anymore. They have sucked the fun out of the game for me, with especially doing things like that. I understand it in the tower. I understand it with the Hydra boss. But when you take something to where we just grind for gear, to where it should be fun, it shouldn't be this nail grinding time sink kind of thing, or an in game to where you can't just have
Okay.
fun with all these heroes in the game. Something like Fire Knight, just have a good time, but you've got to knock down those shields. The game should not be like that. It should be exciting the way it was before they did that to stage 21 to 25. And I think that
That's an
just kicked it
interesting
all
point.
off. That was like the first part of them just sucking it all away, and then now it's just not enjoyable. It's not enjoyable for me to have fun and try to use different heroes to get through content in a timely manner.
That's an interesting point. I think that was something I hadn't thought about at all, because like I just don't really have that much interest in dungeons. It's like I build my team and it's done, and they just do it, right? For me, I know actually I've seen polls before where people say that dungeons are like their favorite part of the game. I've seen polls where people vote for it as being their favorite part, which is like the opposite of me. It's like my least favorite part of the game. It's just there's no real interest or excitement there. It's just okay. There's a little bit of fun in building the team, and that's cool. But then it's like the team is built, it's done, it's away, and just sort of leave it there. So I don't really care too much about the dungeon specific thing, but I really get what he's saying about it'd be cool if there were like we have these like Doom Tower is really hard and Hydra is really hard, so we can bring in all these different champions. And that's the good part about it, is that it gives all these different sorts of champions and team comps reasons to be there and reasons to be used, and it can be really fun to build those teams, but it's really challenging. It's really hard. It takes work. It's very difficult. That can be frustrating. It would be good if they added some sort of game mode into the game where, like, I would like a new sort of game mode which focused more on just kind of fun and crazy builds. I don't know. I don't know what they could do. It'd have to be something completely new and different. Like maybe you can take 5 champions into like a roguelike run, and they go in with no gear, and you can like earn different bits of gear and build them up. You can get other random champions as you go, that sort of thing. Like something sort of like that could be kind of cool. Like a different game mode where it's like, you know what, just build some crazy builds, completely destroy some stuff. Maybe it's limited like Hydra is, like a once a week sort of thing, you know, just so I don't know, but some sort of like really fun mode where you can just do crazy builds, more of a sandboxy sort of experience, to complement something that's just like just go have a crazy time and you don't need to really stress. Like there's a challenge there, but it's not insanely challenging. It's something more fun focused.
And it's just not what I want to deal with anymore. I just don't want to have anything to do with it, so I will no longer be covering it on this channel. Let me know your thoughts about that down below, guys. I'm not going to rant anymore. I appreciate you all for watching. Thank you so much for the support over the...
There we go, guys. Again, go find Stew's video. Give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to Stew if you want to see that Diablo Immortal stuff. I'm definitely going to be watching his Diablo Immortal videos. Like, I don't see myself doing any videos ahead of Diablo Immortal's release, but I'll definitely check out Stew's videos so I can go into the game coming out myself with a bit of an idea of what's going to be happening. Stew would definitely be one of the first people I would watch to get like advice and insight on it for sure. But there you go. I mean, the only thing I'm sad about in this sense is that I never got to like collaborate on a raid video with Stew. That would have been really good fun. So that's one of the downsides. But yeah, I mean, I can tell you from personal experience that making a change like Stew is doing is not something that is easy. It's not a decision that's it's not a decision that's made lightly. It can be very, especially going alongside a financial stress of buying a house, like a new house, that sort of thing. That can be really take a toll on you. So full respect to him though for making the decision. It absolutely sounds like the right one for where he is, and just that he's not enjoying the game. It sounds like it's the right one. He sounds like he has a good plan, and yeah, wish him all the best. Who knows? Maybe we'll collaborate with Stew on Diablo Immortal someday if we end up playing it. Or hey, another game down the line, because I think he's got a bunch of great ideas there in terms of games to look at. And I'll hopefully be looking at some of those as well. I totally agree with him. So who knows? Our paths may cross again. But yeah, best wishes to Stew. And yeah, guys, thanks for watching and listening to my rambling ass talks. Oh my god, this made it way longer. I'm sorry. Holy shit, I need to stop this video because I talk too much. Guys, thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.